Welcome back to the deep dive. Ever feel like life keeps testing you, putting you through the
It
ringer?
happens to us all, right?
Right. Well, today, our source material tackles a massive question, one that's been asked for ages. Why does God permit Satan's deception?
It's a big one. And the sources we're looking at, they really frame it in a fascinating way.
How so?
Well, they don't present it as, some kind of cosmic mistake or flaw. It's actually described as part of the system.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to explore how things like free will, divine grace, the text calls it yun hai, and just the whole point of making choices connect when you're faced with temptation. Or mihawk, as the source puts it.
Right, let's dig in. So the foundation seems to be free will. The material says God grants genuine free will. That's the starting point.
Absolutely key. And for that freedom to be real, really free, creatures have to be able to choose wrong, to sin. But just as importantly, they also have to have the ability not to sin.
Okay, so that means situations where sin is a real, live option. They have to be allowed.
Exactly. They have to exist for the choice to mean anything.
And that's where Satan comes in, with this mihawk.
That's precisely the role the source describes. Satan's deception, that mihawk, it creates these testing grounds, these moments of decision.
Like a crucible.
Yeah, think of it like that. The text says pretty clearly, without this kind of challenge, without the mihawk, you couldn't really tell who's choosing to obey and who's choosing to defy.
So it forces a distinction.
Right. It makes free will visible. Your choices become clear in those moments.
Okay, that makes sense, but it still sounds, well, intense, like you're constantly under pressure. Does the source talk about any help? Or are we just left to struggle?
That's a really good point. And no, you're not just left hanging. That's where grace, the yun hai, comes into play.
A divine help.
Exactly. The material is clear. God provides this grace to help creatures overcome sin. It's not about being abandoned in the test.
And is there something specific about this grace?
Yes, very specific. The source points directly to the cross.
The cross.
It frames the cross and the love demonstrated there as the core of this grace. It's what empowers creatures to actually resist sin, to choose the other path. It's about enabling choice, not just testing it.
So you've got the test, the deception, but also the means to overcome it through grace, centered on the cross. It sounds like this sets up two very different potential outcomes.
That's exactly what the source outlines. Two distinct paths.
Which are?
Well, first, there are those who choose to obey the Son, who accept that grace, that yun hai.
Okay. And the others?
They defy the Son. They reject the grace offered. The source links this rejection to things like clinging to greed, ignoring your conscience. Basically, failing to overcome sin.
And the consequences are different.
Starkly different, according to the text. For those who obey and accept grace, it talks about eternal life.
And for those who defy and reject.
The source uses the phrase thrown into the lake of fire. So yeah, very distinct destinies based on the choices made.
Wow. Okay, so let's circle back to the original question. Why permit the deception in the first place? It seems the purpose then isn't punishment itself.
No, not primarily. The goal, as the text presents it, is to distinguish people.
Distinguish based on their choices.
Exactly. It allows each person to genuinely, you could say, choose their own outcome. It's about showing real commitment, choosing not to sin even when you could, even when the mihawk is right there.
So the choice has real weight because the alternative is real and the help is real too.
Precisely. It validates the whole concept of free will.
So wrapping this up, the source material suggests that Satan's deception isn't some kind of oversight.
Far from it. It's presented as a fundamental part of the whole system, maybe even essential.
Essential for proving free will.
And for allowing each individual destiny to be, well, truly chosen, not just assigned. It gives a profound, maybe challenging purpose to the difficulties we encounter.
So here's something to think about based on all this. If deception is permitted to create genuine choice and distinction, what does that perspective tell you about the nature of the choices you face every day? About their significance and where they might ultimately lead? Food for thought as you navigate your own path.